Enter the stylist that likes to share. Here is Amber with knowledge and care. And if you like the vibe, like and subscribe. So I'm coming to you all natural today because it's Labor Day. And so Labor Day means let's not labor too much. And I think it is important, as much as I love beauty and aesthetics and all of that, it's also good to just be real sometimes, and this is reality. Since it's Labor Day, I was thinking I would tell you a little bit about my labor of love, which is being a cosmetologist. I love it so much that since the beginning of my career, my goal was to become an educator and share it with more people. So I really just love the way my educator taught us, made sure that we knew we could make a career out of this. And it wasn't going to be just, something better than working at McDonald's, something that you can actually make really good money doing. Ooh! Okay, maybe like that. Like that's the stuff I struggle with the most right now, is all the camera stuff. So anyways, as a cosmetology instructor, I found that not necessarily everybody was really in it for a career. And when I went to school, my cosmetology instructor, that was something she was very passionate about, is getting us in the mindset of how we can make this a career. This is not just some side job for the fun of it. She's like, no, you can make really good money at this. And this is how, by being the best of the best and always doing your best and always learning and continuing to grow. And she really stressed that as you got out of school, that this was not the end. This was the tip of the iceberg. And there's so much more, deep diving to do. Over the years, some of the best lessons I've had with students have been these type of conversations where we've kind of talked about, is this really what you want to do? Why do you want to do this? Is this something that is a long-term career that is going to make you successful and happy? So just my thoughts on if cosmetology is going to be right for you. So over the years, there's been a few things that I find to kind of be a red flag. And if you relate to any of these red flags and you're thinking about cosmetology as a career, this might be an issue. Not that they always are an issue, but just if this is you, it could be an issue. And finally, here are the red flags. Really wanting to be creative. And not that this isn't about creativity, because that's like my favorite part of this career, is the creativity that I get to have, but I also get plenty of clients that, just want their root touch up and don't want some big crazy creative style every time. So you need to be able to kind of like follow directions, work well with others, take their lead as far as if the client's like, yeah, I really want to do this, this, and this, but maybe put a little bit of your creative spin on it. But you don't want to always be like, well, I'm the creative stylist, I know what's best. If that's kind of your mentality, this may be a struggle for you. You may not end up having as much fun as you think, because more often than not, you're going to have to do what the client wants, not necessarily what you think is best, within reason. I mean, if you really feel uncomfortable, don't do it ever. But yeah, within reason, you gotta listen to your client. Another red flag for me is struggling with any type of untreated social anxiety. If it's untreated and you're not working with, maybe some mental health professionals, a therapist, some sort of support system, that's going to be really hard, because this is a social job. So if you're struggling with social anxiety, as much as I sympathize with that, I've even dealt with that so much in my own regards, just because it is hard, especially to talk to people you don't even know. So it's definitely something I've had to learn over the years, and I've definitely had to like push myself out of that comfort zone. And I find if I just push myself a little bit here and there, I've learned and grown over the years, and it hasn't been as hard as, some of those days when I'm really in my mind about it, where I'm like, oh my gosh, how can I do this? I don't know what to say to this client, so I sympathize so much, but in the end, if it's not treated and you're not able to cope with that, you know, stress and anxiety, that's going to tear you down really, really fast. Making sure before you engage in, you know, putting your time and money into this career, making sure you're in a healthy place as best as you can. I know life is never perfect, but just being able to cope. If you are very independent, that could be a very good thing in this career. And especially if you want to be an independent stylist and you want to do your own thing, you want to maybe do chair rental or do some traveling styling, like independence is very, very good, but you also need to be able to work with your clients and also other coworkers, because even if you are freelance and you're getting hired out for this job and the other, you're going to have to walk into a setting where you're going to have to work with people that you might not know. You might not know their style, and so you got to be able to be very flexible and adaptable. And, you know, very service-minded. Can I help you mentality is very important. So if you are just like, I don't care about you, I don't care about what you want, I know I do what I want kind of mentality, this could be a struggle for you. In school, things that I found students that tended to have these mentalities struggled the most. So if you are in school and you're starting and you're questioning if this is for you, if you're going to stay in for the long haul, but you prefer to only work on mannequins and working on people is like too stressful. It makes you, you know, just nervous, whatever. So you're just like, no, I would rather just work on mannequins. I'll learn on mannequins. That can work for a while, maybe to get you over that hump, but at some point you're going to have to work on people. You're going to have to work on your classmates. You're going to have to work on the public, and eventually you're going to be working on your clients. So you need to want to work on people, which may seem very silly to need to say, but you would be surprised. Also laziness, which is kind of something that could be interpreted lots of different ways from lots of different people. So when I talk about laziness, it's more in the mindset of, I don't want to do that. That's not interesting. That's not fun. I'm going to try to get out of it. Just, if that's your daily attitude, you're going to have an issue. I know we all have our days, and some days you just don't want to do anything. So I'm squishing down here. Yeah, some days you just don't want to do anything, which is fine. But if most days you feel like doing absolutely nothing and coming to school is an absolute dread for you, yeah, maybe it's not for you. Don't just do it because somebody thinks you should do something and you're like, well, I guess I'll do cosmetology. It's going to be a waste of time and money for everyone involved if you don't want to be there. So now that we know the red flags, let's hear what some must-haves are. So some of the must-haves that I think are important is flexibility, definitely creativity. You know, like we were talking about, creativity is a must, but you also need to be able to rein it in to suit your client's needs. You need to love to talk to people and love being around people and working with people. Even if it can make you nervous, in the end, you're still enjoying it most of the time. Having some sort of like medical interest of some sort, and I don't necessarily mean you need to be a nurse or something, but when you're in cosmetology, I think a lot of people don't realize how much anatomy and physiology and chemistry, which is all very medically related, and we have to learn a lot of the diseases and disorders to look out for, so that way we can refer our clients to physicians when they do have issues. So we have to maybe not know everything a doctor knows, obviously, but we need to know enough to be like, ooh, that doesn't look right, you need to go see a doctor. So having that interest enough where when you learn all these big medical terms and all these diseases and disorders, you know, are interested. And if you have just like absolutely no interest and that's going to drive you nuts, I think that's going to be really hard for you. So I consider this kind of a must in this industry. Understanding looking the part, which I feel like, you know, you don't need to always look like a pretty little doll. Make your style whatever you want it to be, but you need to show that you can maintain your own skin and nail and hair to a point that's like, hey, yeah, I am a professional. I do know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'm a little more classic, or maybe I'm a little more punky style, but in the end, you can see the whole package is put together, is respectable, is you know, showing off that you care enough to put a little time and effort into your looks. You know, you're not like me today with just a messy hairdo, no makeup, big baggy sweatshirt, you know, coming into work with big old acne, not even like, I don't care. You know, some people would say, oh, you're just being pretentious because you feel like you need to cover yourself up and look a certain way. And I don't necessarily think that every little blemish should be covered every single day. Like, man, if that skin needs to breathe, let it breathe. But maybe at least put a little blush on or add a little mascara, or at least make sure your hair's cute and, you know, like just look awake, look the part, feel good about your own appearance. Have a little self-pride in, you know, pulling it all together, because that is part of our job. So I think that is a definite must. Motivation is a must. You have to have some motivation to want to do this. If you know, don't know why you're doing this, you're just like, I don't know, my mom thought I should, or I don't know, my grandma always said I was good at braiding. If you're not sure and you're just like, I don't even know what I want to do with this. Do I want to cut hair? Do I want to color? Do I want to do nails? I don't know. None of it sounds really interesting. So if you don't have that motivation of like, yes, I love this. Yes, I want this. Oh my gosh, it's so interesting. Even though I'm nervous about, you know, meeting new people and talking to new clients, I'm still really excited. You know, that's what I love to hear in a student. It's like, I can get you past a lot of this, you know, newbie nerves, but I can't get past if that motivation isn't there. That's a personal thing. So I can teach you as much as I have to offer, but in the end, if it's not something that is interesting to you, you know, with that deep passion, it's not going to get you through day to day. You're going to burn out a lot quicker because, you know, with like any job, there's good and bad to it. And to get through the bad days, you have to have more good days. But if you truly aren't enjoying what you're doing, those bad days are going to stack up real fast. All right, so the next things are stuff that aren't necessarily a must, but are going to make cosmetology school a lot easier, probably a lot more fun, and definitely a lot more successful. Having some interest or some experience in sales, having some interest or some experience in being clean and organized. And I would say I have no experience with staying clean and organized, but I always am trying. So I have enough interest to at least try. Our jobs are very messy. So if you are not able to kind of reset and clean up, you're going to struggle in this career. One of the helpful things is being physically able. Now I know that can be a struggle for different people at different times for different reasons. And I would never say, don't do this if you are physically struggling for one reason or another. There are ways to find accommodations to make a lot of things work for you, but definitely make sure you are physically able, with or without accommodations, to do the job. Being detail-oriented, definitely very helpful. A must. I know I've seen some people that aren't detail-oriented that do very well in this career, but it's definitely the ones that are detail-oriented that I say go above and beyond, and definitely are the ones that do really well. All right, that's it. So hopefully this will help you if you're not sure if cosmetology is right for you or not. If you made it this far, definitely let me know what you thought, if this was helpful or not. I would love to hear from somebody, all my ones of followers. Bye.